Let us talk about betrayal, the kind that cuts deeper than fame, deeper than money, deeper than the spotlight itself. Selena Gomez and her once ride-or-die best friend, Francia Raisa, are back in the headlines, and not because of something beautiful. This time, it is heartbreak dressed in Hollywood glitter. Because yes, this is the same Francia who, in 2017, made one of the most unimaginable sacrifices in celebrity history. She donated her kidney to Selena Gomez. A gesture so pure, so powerful, it restored people's faith in friendship itself. But now? The woman who literally gave Selena life did not even get an invitation to Selena's wedding. Let that sink in. How do you go from saving your best friend's life, to being erased from her most important day? What happened between them? Was it fame? Was it ego? Or did Selena simply decide that loyalty expires when the cameras stop rolling? Back in 2017, the world was mesmerized. Selena was battling lupus, a brutal disease eating away at her body. Francia, without hesitation, stepped forward. She did not just say, "I'm here for you." She proved it. She went under the knife, risked her health, and handed over a piece of herself. Literally. The story went viral overnight. Selena wrote a post that broke the internet. "There aren't words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend. She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney to me. I love you so much, sis." It looked like something out of a movie, two women in hospital gowns, hand in hand, smiling through the pain. Fans cried. Media called it the purest friendship in Hollywood. For a brief moment, everyone believed that love and loyalty could survive fame. But Hollywood has a way of turning fairy tales into horror stories. Fast forward to this year. Selena Gomez is marrying Benny Blanco. The wedding? A star-studded affair. But Francia Raisa, the same woman whose kidney beats in Selena's body, was nowhere to be seen. No invite. No mention. Nothing. Fans noticed immediately. Twitter exploded. "How do you forget the woman who saved your life?" one tweet said. Others called it the coldest betrayal in celebrity history. TikToks started rolling in, dissecting every detail, every old post, every red carpet clip, trying to understand how this sisterhood turned into silence. People began connecting dots. They noticed the unfollows. The lack of photos. The interviews were both dodged questions. Something was broken, something deep. Then came the whispers. Rumors that Francia was hurt because Selena allegedly went back to habits doctors warned against after the transplant: drinking, partying, pushing limits. It was like the internet wanted a villain, and Selena's name was on the dartboard. But here is where it gets messy. In a resurfaced interview filmed just days before Selena's wedding, Francia finally addressed it all. Calm, collected, but clearly exhausted. She said, "What you're asking me is nonsense. There are too many rumors. No one knows what is going on, and neither she nor I are talking about it." And that statement, that silence between the lines, said everything. Because this is not just about friendship. It is about what happens when real emotion collides with celebrity life. When gratitude fades, and fame starts whispering, "You owe no one." It is tragic, really. Two women once inseparable, now strangers bound by one kidney and a million unspoken words. And as the internet keeps speculating, fans keep asking, how do you walk away from someone who once gave you their literal life? Maybe this is not just a story about Selena and Francia. Maybe it is a reminder that in Hollywood, even the purest love can come with an expiration date. And then, just when everyone thought the story had faded into silence, it came roaring back. Because one line, just one, can change everything. Selena once said, "One day, maybe we will address it." And those words hit like a thunderclap. A hint. A confession. A quiet acknowledgement that behind all the polished smiles and red carpet poses, something was broken. To anyone who has followed their journey, this is not just gossip, it is a tragedy. A modern-day friendship torn apart by fame, pride, and the suffocating weight of the internet's gaze. Their story goes all the way back to their early Disney and ABC Family days, two girls with big dreams, chasing light in a world built on illusion. Fans watched them grow, laugh, and evolve together. But somewhere between the awards shows and Instagram filters, that light began to dim. Unfollows. Awkward interviews. Cold silences. And now, the final blow, a wedding guest list that included Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, and half of Hollywood, but not Francia Raisa. The internet erupted. TikTok was on fire. How could Selena do this? One user wrote. She invited everyone but the woman who saved her life, another commented, their disbelief echoed by millions. Did the friendship simply fade into the background? Or is there something darker, something both of them are still protecting? When the press asked Francia about the wedding, she took the high road, calm, mature, almost heartbreakingly composed. She said softly, "I know she's getting married, and I'm very happy for her. She has her life, and I'm grateful I could do that for her." Then she added something that silenced the room. "From the beginning, the doctors told me it's a donation. You don't ask where it goes or what happens next. I'm just grateful I could save a life." It was elegant. Controlled. But make no mistake, beneath that grace, there was something raw. A quiet ache that fans could feel through the screen. Because if gratitude was truly enough, then why did everything still hurt this much? What the world did not know, what most people still do not know, is that the cracks in their friendship started long before the public ever noticed. After the transplant in 2017, they looked inseparable. Interviews, photos, endless praise for one another. Francia once told Harry Kimmel Jr., "Selena felt bad about me doing that because we're just friends. I'm not her family." Well, I am now. She has my blood. It sounded like a fairy tale ending, but behind the smiles, something was shifting. Something silent. Fast forward to November 2022. Selena released My Mind and Me, a raw, emotional documentary showing her battles with fame and mental health. It was intimate. Vulnerable. But fans immediately noticed one painful omission. Francia was nowhere to be found. Not a single mention. Then came the Rolling Stone interview. Selena said, "I never fit in with the cool group of celebrity girls. My only friend in the industry really is Taylor Swift." The internet froze. Because, what about Francia? The woman who gave her a kidney? And almost instantly, Francia's subtle but explosive response appeared, a single-word comment on an News Instagram post, "Interesting." That one word was enough to break the internet. It was deleted within hours, but the damage? Irreversible. She unfollowed Selena shortly after. Fans began choosing sides, dissecting every emoji, every caption, every silence. Selena later commented on a TikTok breaking down the drama, saying, "Sorry I didn't mention every person I know." But by then, it was too late. The world had turned it into a war, gratitude versus betrayal, friendship versus fame. The backlash was vicious. Francia received hate, snakes in her comments, people accusing her of chasing clout. In February 2023, she opened up in Glamour, her voice shaking but steady. "I get snakes on my Instagram comments a lot. People say I'm using certain people for fame. If I had that in me, I would have been famous a long time ago." She admitted the online hate broke her down. She even deleted her Twitter account just to escape. "Those little things people write about me, they hurt," she whispered. And that is the side of Hollywood no one wants to see, the quiet pain behind the glamorous facade. Then, when fans least expected it, something changed. March 10, 2023. Selena Gomez publicly referred to Francia as her best friend once again, in her Apple TV Plus documentary series Dear. She said, "My best friend, her name is Francia." Her tone was soft, almost pleading, like a fragile olive branch extended in the dark. It was as if Selena was saying, "I remember you. I always did." Those words hit hard. Fans felt it. It was not a PR line. It was a confession wrapped in gratitude and guilt. And then came a birthday post, a quiet, emotional caption. "No matter where life takes us, I love you." It felt like a sigh of relief, a moment of peace after years of tension. Francia's subtle like and follow did not go unnoticed. They were digital whispers of forgiveness, not loud, not perfect, but real. But even then, the internet refused to let go. They did not want peace. They wanted conflict. They wanted drama. Because in the world of fame, reconciliation does not sell, scandal does. And so, their story remains unfinished, two women bound by one kidney and a million unsaid words. A friendship that began as a miracle, turned into a mystery. A bond once praised as unbreakable, now cracked by time, fame, and silence. Maybe one day they will tell their truth. Until then, the world will keep guessing, and the internet will keep choosing sides. The next day, when the paparazzi cameras found Francia, her smile told a story words could never capture. It was soft, but tired. The kind of tired that comes from being misunderstood for too long. She smiled and said lightly, "There's no beef, guys." But her eyes said everything. They were not angry. They were just done. Those were the same eyes that once lit up beside Selena on red carpets, filled with pride, laughter, and sisterhood. Now, they looked like someone who had learned the hardest lesson of all, that love and loyalty mean nothing in a world that sells pain for clicks. Because this was never just about a kidney. It was about how fame eats friendship alive. Back in 2017, their story was seen as sacred, two souls bound by something deeper than fame, deeper than blood. Francia had given up a part of herself to keep Selena alive. The world called it the ultimate act of love. For years, it was the fairy tale everyone pointed to. Proof that genuine connection could exist in Hollywood. But time has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. As months turned into years, gratitude turned into distance, and distance became silence. Fans began to notice the absence: no photos, no appearances, no posts. And in that vacuum, the internet did what it does best: it filled the silence with speculation. Some said there had been a fight. Others whispered betrayal. And some questioned if Selena ever truly appreciated the gift that saved her life. Then came My Mind and Me, Selena's raw, emotional documentary. A beautiful confession of pain, struggle, and survival. But as soon as fans realized Francia's name wasn't in it, chaos began. To the world, it looked like erasure. To Selena, maybe it was focus. But in the world of fame, intent never matters, only perception does. And when Francia left that single comment, interesting, under an Instagram post quoting Selena saying that Taylor Swift was her only friend in the industry, it was like lighting a match in a room soaked with gasoline. The internet exploded. Memes, threads, think pieces, TikToks. Millions dissecting one word from one woman's pain. By early 2023, it had gone too far. Francia was drowning in hate. People she had never met hurled venom in her comments, calling her jealous, fake, manipulative. Some even mocked her kidney donation. "I did not ask for this," she said quietly in one interview, her voice trembling. "I just wanted to help my friend." And there it was, the truth. Simple. Human. Unfiltered. Meanwhile, Selena was trapped in her own paradox. Every word she spoke, every silence she kept, became ammunition. Fans who claimed to adore her turned cruel, tearing down the very people she loved. When she defended Hailey Bieber, the internet twisted it. When she tried to protect Francia, it twisted that too. Kindness had become a weapon. Silence had become guilt. And then, something shifted. Selena's birthday message to Francia appeared online, not promotional, not performative, but deeply personal. "No matter where life takes us, I love you." It was not a statement for headlines. It was a whisper, one meant for the girl who once lay in a hospital bed beside her, matching scars, matching 4 drips, bound by pain and survival. For Francia, those words must have cracked something open. Gratitude. Nostalgia. Maybe even hope. When she followed Selena back, fans treated it like a headline: "They've reconciled," they screamed. But maybe it was not reconciliation. Maybe it was peace. Because sometimes, forgiveness does not need a press release. Sometimes, it is just a quiet decision to stop hurting. But the internet, of course, saw it differently. Within hours, the tabloids screamed, "Selena and Francia reunite." As if a like, a follow, or a comment could heal years of hurt. But real healing is not viral. It happens in whispers. In late-night messages no one screenshots. In tears no one records. In 2 women deciding to breathe again. Still, the internet kept feeding. Comparing who followed whom, who commented, who didn't. Turning something sacred into another trending spectacle. And that is the cruel irony: both of them were victims. Not villains. Not manipulators. Just 2 women, both human, both hurting, both trying to exist under a microscope that refuses to blink. So when Francia finally told TMZ, "There's no beef," it was not denial. It was surrender. It was her saying, "I'm done explaining my heart." Because in today's world, peace rarely trends. But peace, quiet, imperfect, human peace, is sometimes the only thing left to protect. And for Selena, this chapter revealed the hardest truth of all: even gratitude can be twisted. Even love can be misunderstood. And even when your entire career is built on empathy, fame can still turn your compassion into controversy. It must feel cruel to sing about kindness, to preach healing, and still watch your own story used as a weapon. The story of Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa is not about drama anymore. It is about survival, emotional survival in a world that feeds on pain. Maybe someday, they will talk again, away from the flash, away from the noise. And maybe then, for the first time in years, it will not be a headline. It will just be 2 sisters, finally finding peace. Through it all, one thing became clear: this was never a story about rivalry. It was about love in its most complicated, human form. Love that gives life. Love that breaks under pressure. And love that somehow survives the wreckage. Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa were bound by something no camera could capture: not fame, not fame's fake promises, but a medical miracle, an act of trust so immense it could never truly be repaid. Because when someone gives you their kidney, they are not just saving your body, they are handing you a second chance at life. That kind of bond, it never dissolves. No matter how far life pulls you apart. When paparazzi caught Francia smiling that July afternoon, it almost felt poetic. Her smile was gentle, peaceful, the kind that said, "I'm done explaining myself." "There's no beef," she said again, and this time, it sounded like release. Like closure. Maybe she had accepted that the world would never understand, and maybe she no longer needed it to. In the months that followed, the internet began to notice small things, the kind of details that speak louder than statements. Selena liking Francia's posts again. Francia sharing quiet, uplifting quotes about gratitude and forgiveness. There was no teary reunion, no carefully curated public moment. Just silence. Healing silence. The kind that says, we're okay now, just not the same way we used to be. Forgiveness, it turns out, is not always loud. Sometimes it is just a like, a message, a quiet birthday post that whispers, I still care. Maybe both of them realized their friendship was never meant for public consumption. Maybe it was always supposed to exist quietly, away from the hashtags, away from the judgment, away from the noise. Because when you strip away the fame, the fan wars, the endless speculation, what remains is something heartbreakingly human. Two women who once shared everything, laughter, hospital gowns, blood, still finding small ways to say, I remember. Love does not always look like reconciliation. Sometimes it just looks like peace. And maybe that is what the world missed all along. Because beneath the rumors and the viral threads, this was never about gossip. It was about two human beings navigating the aftermath of a miracle, a friendship forged in pain, tested by fame, and softened again by time. Selena's words, Francia's quiet smile, they were not publicity stunts. They were human moments. Moments of gratitude. Of closure. Of quiet, unspoken healing. Because when someone literally gives you life, that bond doesn't break, it only changes shape. Even if they never return to what they once were, maybe that is okay. Because maybe peace, not perfection, is what they both needed all along. Then, just when everyone thought the story had reached its quiet ending, life had one last twist. It was a new year. And Selena had said it herself, almost prophetically, yeah, you know, it's a new year. Weeks later, the internet could not believe what they were seeing. Selena and Francia, out together. Laughing. Eating dinner. No tension. No bitterness. Just two old friends, finally breathing again. Francia even posted on her Instagram story, joking, no beef, just salsa. That one line, lighthearted, funny, a wink to all the noise, exploded online. Within hours, hashtag no beef just salsa was trending. Fans turned it into memes, edits, even t-shirts. By October 13, 2023, Francia had officially launched her own no beef, just salsa merch line. And guess who helped her promote it? Selena Gomez herself. Two women who had once been torn apart by the internet, now using the same internet to laugh together again. It was poetic. It was healing. It was full circle. But the most revealing moment came later that year, when Francia finally sat down with USA Today to tell her truth. I don't know why the timing happened the way it did, she said quietly. We hadn't spoken much in 6 years. Especially the last year, we didn't speak at all. Then one day, Selena reached out. She said, let's talk. And just like that, two women who had shared the most intimate pain a friendship could endure began rebuilding from scratch. Francia said,